It is that time of the week where we catch up with a farmer in the field. It's a program we call Fridays in the Field, and we're back here near Omaha, Nebraska at Vala's Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard. Vaughn is joining us. He is the agriculture manager. And Vaughn, last time we talked, we were standing next to the apple orchard.
Yes, sir.
Today we're in the pumpkins.
Yep.
This is a big part of your operation, obviously. Tell us where we're standing and what all you have going on here.
Well, we're standing at the edge of one of our pumpkin fields. Basically, this is a jack-o'-lantern field, so we have guests that come out on hay racks, we unload them, and they go out and they pick their pumpkins and take them in. So hopefully they pick a big pumpkin, of course, that's what we like to see, but we grow out in this particular field pumpkins that range in the size of 25 to 35 pounds up to 50, 60, 70 pounds.
Okay, I want to learn more about the pumpkins here in a second,
Sure.
But big picture, how has the growing season been since we last visited with you?
So far, the growing season's been okay. We've missed all the hail, which there was a lot of red swirling around us many times in the last few weeks. But we missed all that. We missed all the heavy rains, which is good. And actually, it's been a really good growing season so far.
So how many varieties of pumpkins do you guys grow here at Vala's Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard?
Well, I'll tell you, Bryce, it's kind of a fluid deal, but right now it's somewhere around 100 different varieties of jack-o'-lanterns, pie pumpkins, smaller sized pumpkins, ornamental gourds, and table squash.
Over 100 different varieties growing.
And that just scratches the surface of the varieties available.
How many acres do you have planted of pumpkins?
This year it's about 45-ish. We range from 50 to 45, so it's a rather substantial pumpkin field.
Yep. Of course, here on Fridays in the Field, we're following producers all the way from eastern Nebraska to western Nebraska. Where we stand,
Yes,
we're
sir.
relatively blessed when it comes to rain, but you are prepared if you have to irrigate. Talk about
Absolutely.
where you're at with rain right now and how you're weighing the pros and cons of whether you're going to have to irrigate or not.
Right, so right now we're sitting okay. The determination of whether or not we irrigate will come here towards the end of the month. Right now we're leaning towards not irrigating, and when we talk about irrigating, pumpkins being a horticulture crop, big leaf, very predisposed to powdery mildew. That's one of our main disease issues that we have, which is really a function of leaf wetness. So when we water, we use drip irrigation. So when it comes time to irrigate, the whole farm has underground piping. We have risers throughout the farm, and this particular field will put a riser with blue fire hose as our header pipe, and we'll actually string out drip tape with emitters every 2 foot throughout this whole expanse behind us.
A lot of acres to try to irrigate.
A lot of acres to irrigate, and there's some years where we put the tape out and we only irrigate 1 or 2 times, but it's well worth it when we make that determination.
So talk about it. When you plant, you have a rotation, I understand, of what you follow up with pumpkins. Describe that for our viewers.
Sure. So we have a rotational program in place that it's corn, soybeans, pumpkins, and usually for most part the pumpkins follow the soybeans. So there's different herbicides that are used in each of those crops, which really helps with weed control here. It also helps by destroying the cover, the residue of those other 2 crops. Does a lot for our insect control. And then of course you got the nitrogen fixation from the soybeans themselves. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned you had a cover crop. It was rye, I believe.
Yes.
Was it just for the weed control, or do you find any other benefits from it?
There's a lot of benefits from it, so there's some allelopathic properties from the rye itself, so it actually inhibits some of the weeds from germinating. It's the cover part, the mulching factor, that helps eliminate some of the weeds. The mulching factor then also helps conserve water, which is huge for us. But then the other kind of offhanded advantage is the pumpkins are growing and developing on that bed of straw, which separates from the ground, and so we have a lot less rot problem.
Well, I mentioned it is Vala's Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard, so we're going to get an update on the apples. We talked a lot about that last episode, but where are they at in their growth right now?
The apples right now are doing really super well. They're about the size of a small baseball, let's say. So they've increased in size considerably. So for the apples right now, here in July is their sizing period. So we'll be turning on the irrigation system and watering those a couple times between now and harvest. And we're actually doing some trellising today for some new apples that we had planted earlier. So we're putting in trellis lines as we speak today.
And the countdown is on till opening day, right?
It is. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's right there in the 60-day-ish range. So tick tock, tick tock.
Absolutely. Vaughn, appreciate your time. That is
Absolutely.
Vaughn Hammond, the agriculture manager out here at Vala's Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard. This is Fridays in the Field, which is brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.